What is up, YouTube? Shane here, Four Guys Talking Cars. Welcome back. Hey, today's video, how many cars have you owned in your life? I've got a list for you. It might knock your socks off. I'm sure there's people out there that have had a whole lot more cars than me. And so I'm going to give you a list of cars that I've owned and some pictures to go along with that. Just for kicks and giggles, you can kind of see the progression of my cars up until this point. And I'd love to hear your feedback. Maybe you guys will start reflecting on how many cars you've owned. Let's get right into it.
I can see my name in lights, spark from the heart and it shines so bright. Yeah, let the whole world know. Let's go, let's go. That's good. I can see my name in lights, ball till I fall and I'm feeling alright. Yeah, so let the whole world know. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Car ownership, at least for me, is a progression, right? You don't see a whole lot of 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds getting their dream car right off the bat. You've got to go to school, you've got to pursue whatever, technical trade or whatever, progress through your career, and cars mirror what's going on in your life. And so it's fun to reflect back on some of the cars that I've had. And so it takes time. It takes time to get to the car that you really lust after or really want. All right, so let's get right into this list. Number one, the first vehicle I ever owned was a green 1966 Volkswagen VW Beetle. Loved it, super simple, manual. I think it had like a 6-volt system. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but just super simple, great on gas mileage, which, as a teenager, that was super important. And it was actually quite reliable. Number two, so I had that for a little while. I then convinced my parents to help me buy, I think it was like a 1984, 1985, somewhere in there, blue Ford Tempo. Again, another manual. Actually ended up being a really cool car for me. It was a four-door and it was super reliable. Had, 100,000+ miles on it, but it never had any issues with it. After that, number three was a 1986, really cool car. Nissan 280Z, again, 5-speed manual. It was like a burgundy red color, original color, mint condition, purchased from somebody that worked for my dad that had super low miles, had like 65,000 miles on it. And I'm talking, I think I purchased it in like 1993, 1994, something like that. But super cool car. So that was number three. Number four, I sold that vehicle and then got a 1992 red Acura Integra, which was, again, another manual. And I thought I hit the jackpot on that one because that was a really cool car. Acura, being 22, 23 years old, if that. And I ended up having that until started my family. Okay, so then I sold that. Ended up selling it on the private market, started a family, and needed a four-door. So we bought a 1995 Mazda 626. It was a kind of an emerald green color, tan interior. And again, thought it was a really cool car. Drove that for a little bit and then wanted a four-wheel drive. Got into a 1996 GMC Blazer, and it ended up being a total lemon. The engine light must have gone off 100 times. Nobody could fix it. It spent more days in the shop than probably in my garage. And so we ended up trading it into the dealership that I bought it from. So this is number seven, traded that one in and got a 1998 Ford Contour SVT that was on the lot, low miles. And again, I thought that was a pretty cool car. Had the V6 in it. Wasn't like rip your head off snappy, but it had some good torque, and my wife liked driving that as well. And we had that for, it was silver, had that for a couple of years, and I ended up selling it to my father-in-law, and then I bought a 1996 used white Nissan Maxima. So that's number 8. And that actually was a really good car. I probably would have kept it a little bit longer, but I was driving it one day up one of our grades, and it started blowing white smoke out the back. Blew the top half of the engine. So I had to get rid of that one. So number 9 is a 1999 Honda Accord, 4-door. It was black. It was the limited leather, loaded, had like 40,000 miles on it. And I had that when I was still in college, going through some schooling, and it was just a slick car. Anybody who's had those Honda Accords, and you know that I've got my new one now, but really, really love that Accord. And it's probably one of those that I wish I still had. It was just a great car. All right, so number 10 is actually the first new car we bought, which is I gotta look at my list, 2004 white F-150 crew cab. Sweet ride. Number 11, and I don't know the reason why we got rid of these, but my trend is, every 2 to 3 years I'm getting a new vehicle. But anyways, got rid of that truck. And then I bought another new car, had it delivered. I bought it through Cars Direct. It was a silver 2000, I think either a 4 or a 5, Nissan Altima 5-speed with the V6. And that thing was absolutely killer. I commuted in that, put about 40,000 miles on it, and then traded that in, upgraded, and purchased my 12th car. Actually, I leased it, which was a 2006 Infiniti G35 sedan. And it was white with like a cream interior. Super cool car. I thought I was really stepping up with going from the Nissan to the Infiniti, even though they're within the same family, but of course a little bit more of a luxury vehicle. So that was a cool car. Okay, on to number 13, was a 2008. And I begin sort of this kind of a long series of leasing, right? So you'll see the turnover is pretty quick. 2008 Acura MDX, that was number 13. Number 14 was a 2008 BMW X3. So we leased two at the same time. I think my wife had one, but we kind of interchanged and I drove that as well. When those were up, I went back to a truck, bought a 2010 Chevy Silverado 4-door crew cab. It was kind of a granite color, drove that one for 37 to 40,000 miles. We put a lot of miles on for sports and so forth for our children. And then we went back to BMW, 2012 Silver X3. 17, I traded in the X3 and I actually bought this time a used BMW 535. It was a 2009 or 10. Somebody had traded it in. It only had like 8,600 miles on it, and I just couldn't pass that up. It was a really sweet ride, so I got into that one. And so that is number 17. Number 18, we went back to an SUV, 2011. This time, kind of tired of the BMWs. Got into the Acura line and got our first MDX, leased it. And then when we were done with that, we went over and decided to try out the Lexus line. And so number 19 was a 2014 Lexus GS 350 F Sport, one of my favorite cars. Actually, another one of my, probably put on my top 3 or 4 list. Leased that one, and then I traded that one in and we got another, actually we didn't get another one, we got a Lexus RX350, so traded the sedan in for a sport utility. Decided for my 21st car, I ordered the final year that they made the Chevy SS. So remember, this is a Holden vehicle built in Australia. It was the final year before they closed the Holden plant. I ordered the Chevy SS, which has the LS3 motor in it, 5-speed manual, and which was super rare. Silver, it took like 3 months to get here, and it ended up being not as great as I thought it would be. And I'm not gonna go off too much, but it was a little bit too much of a sleeper for me. Kind of got too much. It would look like a Chevy Malibu, and then it had some quality issues that I suspect because the Holden plant was closing, it just had some stuff that was bugging me, kind of falling apart here and there, and so I actually got rid of that one. Okay, you guys, wrapping up the list, and so actually regarding the 2017 Chevy SS, you can kind of see where my thumb is at. I still have my logo on the wall though from the Chevy SS. I still think it's a pretty cool car. Number 22, as you guys know, I did a review on this one, 5 things I like, 5 things I don't like, is my 2018 BMW 340i, which is no longer with us. Fantastic vehicle, leased that one. Number 23 is a 2019 Toyota Highlander that we still have. My wife drives that one. Number 24 is a 2020 Honda Accord 2.0 Sport Turbo that I'm pointing over here, you can't see it, but my son drives that one and I did a review as well. And number 25 is a 2021 Jeep Wrangler. We'll be doing a review on that one. That was a joint purchase with my son, who is going to be graduating here soon from college, but he's always wanted a Jeep, and so stay tuned for that one. And then finally, number 26 is a 2021 Dodge Charger Widebody Scat Pack. So that's it, guys. 26 cars. That's a lot of vehicles. Make a list, submit. We want to hear from you guys. How many cars have you owned? And just give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think on there. This wasn't meant to be like, oh, I'm bragging. But my wife made me reflect on this with this most recent purchase. And so maybe it's a bit excessive. This is Shane, 4 Guys Talking Cars. Take care.
Hey, that's good. Spark from the heart and it shines so bright. Yeah, so let the whole world know. Let's go, let's go, let's go.